always do. It's funny when I was younger, and even now, when I used to be like, I'm thinking, and my mom would go, like this big earthquake was happening. And she's like, anytime you think, it's always like some kind of big, momentous occasion. And so she would just do all this extreme stuff when I said I was thinking, because she said my thinking was just so intense. And I don't know, I guess that's just who I am, because I have a hard time just like not thinking about complex things and not wanting to talk about it. Like sometimes if I'm in a group of people and they're just like talking about random stuff that is not like gonna change the world or gonna like end world poverty or gonna like create world peace or whatever, I'm exaggerating. But if they're not talking about something that is like super big, then I'm just like not able to get into the conversation. I have a hard time just like being very, just having a normal thought process, normal life. I'm always thinking about heavy stuff, and it's not good. I tend to be pretty I guess just thinking a lot about stuff. So when I said I'm thinking, it just brought all those things back. Because every time I couldn't say I'm thinking not one time without my mom go like her whole world was shaking. And so that kind of came back to me. But anyway, I was thinking, y'all, stay calm, all is well. But yeah, I was thinking about how I woke up this morning. I set my alarm for a certain time, and I woke up earlier than my alarm, as I have been doing all summer, because my body is not wanting me to be sleeping when the light is out, when the sun is out, and the birds are chirping. And that happens pretty early in the summer. So, like, I got up earlier than my alarm clock, and I laid in the bed probably about 10 minutes till my alarm clock. I probably laid in the bed about 45 minutes just laying there, trying to get myself to get up. And then I got up and I tried to think, should I take a walk or should I do something else? And unfortunately, y'all, I spent a few minutes, too many, scrolling on Instagram. And I try not to go on social media in the mornings, but I was scrolling on social media. And I finally got myself up to take my walk. Took my walk and talked to a neighbor, so that was cool. But as I was walking back, I just thought about how I've been doing the same thing every day for the whole summer. And I should be getting up a lot earlier than I've been getting up because I got stuff to do. But I've been going to bed late about the same time every night, and I've been waking up late, same time every morning, no matter what my alarm clock was set for, anything. And I was kind of beating myself up about it, like, Veronica, like you keep on doing this. You know you got stuff to do. Why you didn't get up? You could have got X, Y, and Z done and blah, blah, blah. And I know it's not about trying to get as much done as possible, but I could be making better use of the time that I have. On top of that, the thought that I had is that I keep doing this every day. It's like it's new. But it's the same thing every day. It's the same pattern. It's like I'm on autopilot. And so as I was thinking through that, I was remembering this. I remembered this podcast I listened to yesterday. It was The Hidden Brain. And they were talking about mental maps and how we have these mental maps in our minds that basically tell us what to do. And it's based on our past experiences, what works for us in the past, and we just kind of fall into line with that autopilot in a sense. They talked about how you go to work and you pretty much go to work the same way every time. Some people might try to be different, but for the most part, most of us are tending to take the same route to work. And they say you go right, but what about if you went left? You might see something different. Or what about if you, instead of taking the highway or the interstate, you took the back roads? And what about if you took a more circuitous route? Like that's the kind of stuff that we don't even really think about, because it's like, okay, I'm going to work, I'm going the same way I always go. And you basically live the same life every day to the extent that it depends on you. Now, other people coming into the mix, they got their own things going on. So that's going to kind of disrupt things, and you got different meetings and whatever you got going on. But generally speaking, you're living the same patterns out every day. You're making the same kind of food choices. You're making the same kind of decisions about money, about how you spend your time, even how you treat people. You're pretty much doing the same thing on repeat every day. And that's gonna keep us in the same place. I know my friend Gina, we had this little song. Well, was I in the song? I don't think I was in the song, but she did a song with some other friends of ours, and I remember her saying in that song, insanity is expecting no, insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. No, that's I think that's like the Albert Einstein way to say it. But she said that in her own like rhyming way. She was rapping in there. But basically, you're doing the same thing over and over, but you kind of want a different life, but you're not changing how you live your life. And so the thought I had today is just we have to make some different decisions, and we have to be committed to taking the actions that are in line with those different decisions. Um, I think about estate planning, and I always like to look at estate planning as an opportunity for you to take inventory of your life. And it doesn't matter where you are, if you're 25 years old and you still got like a whole, like you just getting into adulthood and you just entering life versus someone who's in their 40s or someone who's in their 60s or their 80s or even their 90s or 100s. We do estate plans for people in their 90s. I haven't done any. I haven't done one for anyone who has been 100 or over, but I have done them for people in their 90s. And at those different points in life, you're living life a certain way. And of course, as you get older, the opportunity to do different things, it's going to get smaller and smaller, but you still have the opportunity to make different decisions. And so, estate planning is an opportunity to take an inventory of what you have, what you've been doing, and to do something different. Um, you get to look at how things have been in your life, and you get to look at what you've acquired. You get to look at the people who are in your lives, the people who are there to help you, the people who are there to support you, and if you realize that something's off, it's a chance for you to make a change. If you only have one house, but you would like to live in a different location and rent out the one that you have, it's an opportunity for you to make that decision. Estate planning, what we do, we're looking at your whole life. We're looking at who are the people in your life, the people that you trust to make decisions for you, who are your children, your spouse, what kind of things do you own, what assets do you have, what money do you have. If depending on what age you are, I'm going to be asking you, have you thought about retirement? Have you thought about how you're going to pay for retirement? Have you thought about how you're going to make sure that you're cared for in your older years? Is your home accessible for you? Those are the kinds of things that we're asking when we're doing estate planning with people. And a lot of times it's an opportunity for you to think, like, maybe I need to get some new things in place. Maybe I need to start saving money differently. Maybe I need to get out of retirement and get a part time job to save up some money since I'm still young enough to do it. Maybe I need to set some boundaries with my children now that I didn't set before. It gives you that opportunity to really think things over and say, am I where I want to be? Or is this something that I need to change? And so it's going to be very important to be intentional in that time of seeing where you are and being like, okay, this is where I am, but I want to be over here. So how do I get from where I am to where I want to be? And you have that opportunity to kind of map that out and make the decision that you're going to start moving in that direction. So the reason why I'm on this live stream and you'll watch it later as a video today is because at some point earlier in this month I said I feel led to come on YouTube and do a live every day. And I don't know why. It might have just been some random thing that I did for no reason. Or maybe it's something that I did for a good reason. And at the least I get to reflect and y'all hear me reflect, and maybe y'all can call me out if y'all see me not doing the things that I've been talking about on here. But it gives me the opportunity to just reflect on my own life, decisions I'm making, and to see how I can better help others to do the things they want to do in their lives. So thank y'all so much for tuning in with me for this back porch talk, just like I've been doing for the past few days. I missed a few days because we went on a trip, and again, just like I talked about at the beginning, I was just operating in this default mode where I'm just getting up, being lazy, and then we had stuff we had to do. So a lot of times I'm getting up late, and then it's like, well, it's time to get ready to go. So I didn't have time to do my videos, and um, I gotta start being more intentional about when I say I'm gonna do something, I gotta do it. And so that's why I came on here today, because I said I was going to do these videos. I don't know who's watching or why, but I'm on here so that I can be consistent, practice consistency. Because I'm really wanting to break out of this default mode that I've been in. And I keep saying default mode because that's what they called it in the video I watched. They called it the default mode network. And it's what happens when we're not consciously doing something. It's like our default that we fall into when we're not like intentionally doing something. Like if you're working in a garden, you're intentionally pulling weeds, you're intentionally planting seeds. If I'm at work working on somebody's estate plan, I'm reading stuff, I'm typing stuff, I'm making edits, I'm intentionally doing stuff. But when you just kind of like driving maybe and you're not really focused on where you're going because you've been there so many times, your brain starts to go into this autopilot. Your thoughts start to return to your old thoughts. And everything just kind of goes back to this same old pattern. And in order for us to get out of that, we have to make intentional decisions. That conscious mode that I talked about, we got to be using that conscious time in directions that we want to go. And I imagine that there is a lot of good in that default mode where you're just sitting back and just letting your thoughts go. But I think we also have to recognize when our thoughts are going in a direction we don't want them to go in and bring them back on track. So thank y'all for tuning in again. My name is Veronica McClendon. I'm an attorney licensed in the state of Georgia. I love talking about estate planning, heirs property, and probate, and everything to do with family land, family businesses, family assets. And I'm probably going to start talking about some different things pretty soon because I've been exposed to some different I guess, groups of people that I would like to work with. And so I love working with farmers and landowners, but I think I'm getting some other little niches in there. So we'll see. I'm not going to talk about it too much now, but we'll see how that turns out. But either way, I love talking about family assets, whether we're talking about farming, landowning, or the other things that I'm thinking about. Family assets and passing on that family wealth. That is what I love to talk about. So I will be back on here again tomorrow, Lord's willing. I got to leave early because I got some stuff to do, but I said I'm gonna do this live. So if y'all gonna join me early, join me early. But either way, y'all have a wonderful Sunday, and I will be back again tomorrow. Y'all take care.